session, we're going to learn about the fast-growing problem of childhood obesity and the importance of healthy eating for your children. Over the past 3 decades, childhood obesity rates have tripled in the United States, and today, the country has some of the highest obesity rates in the world. 1 out of 5 children is obese, and 1 out of 3 children is overweight or obese. Currently, more than 22% of children suffer from obesity. Since we have become more and more reliant on fast food producers or stores to determine what our children are going to eat, obesity rates have rapidly and steadily increased. The average American diet consists of about 70% processed food. It seems as if we're no longer in control of what is being put inside our children's bodies. Ordering fast food, buying pre-cooked items, or going out to a restaurant is more convenient. There is no argument about that. But is it always the best health choice for your child? Many parents brush off any signs and symptoms of early childhood obesity, thinking that it is just some baby fat and the child will eventually grow out of it. We often think, eat what you want while you're young because your body can handle it. We don't think about changing our eating habits unless we're faced with a problem, a medical condition, a frightening diagnosis, or a higher number on the scale. You might think that your child can make lifestyle changes when they're an adult. You might hear people say, "Let the kids be kids." Unfortunately, we see more and more cases of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in very young children. We now see atherosclerosis in the heart by the age of 8 and fatty strings to the aorta. New recommendations for cholesterol checks are now suggested for children as young as 7 years old. We begin to see all kinds of problems early on in child development. Another epidemic is diabetes. Diabetes type 2 accounts for more than 95% of diabetic cases. It used to be known as adult-onset diabetes. It would typically develop later in life and affect people with weight problems, unhealthy habits, and family history of the disease. Later, that name, adult-onset diabetes, was scratched off and replaced with diabetes type 2, and the reason is because diabetes type 2 was now seen in younger populations. Children as young as 8 years old are being diagnosed with diabetes type 2. These children are typically overweight or obese, lack active lifestyle, and come from families with poor nutrition habits. Diabetes type 2 in children can lead to blindness, amputations, kidney failure, and death in young adulthood. During the past 30 years, the number of children diagnosed as being overweight has increased by more than 100%. Once an obese child reaches age 6, it's likely they will stay that way. Being overweight in our youth predicts the likelihood of chronic diseases, medical complications, and earlier death. It is reported that overweight teens may double their risk of heart attack in adulthood. So being overweight or obese is a major issue. The other major issue is the development of behaviors. Habits are developed in childhood, so you have these unhealthy habits that are forming and are very difficult to break later in life. One of these bad habits is consuming too much processed foods and junk foods, but not consuming enough fruits, vegetables, legumes, and other foods high in fiber. During the childhood of our kids, we're planting the seeds. These seeds can either develop into strong bodies or into full-blown chronic diseases. It is easy for a parent to say, "I love it when my kid is happy with what I feed them." That would be the easier, more convenient way that requires less effort. It is important to recognize that as parents we must do what it is best for our children, their development, and the long-term effects, and not just the instant gratification. As you can see in the picture, these are serious physical complications that can occur due to obesity, but there are also mental health issues. Obese children have lower self-esteem and confidence issues. They can have social interaction issues and are more likely to be bullied or isolated. They're more prone to depression and other mental issues and eating disorders. By this point, you might be wondering if your child is at risk, so let's go over who is at risk. Children at risk of becoming overweight or obese include the following: children who consume food and drinks that are high in sugar and saturated fat on a regular basis, such as fast food, candy, baked goods, and especially soda and other sugary drinks. They consume refined grain products on a regular basis and not enough whole grains. Children who have limited intake of fruits, vegetables, legumes, and nuts. A child that lacks these type of foods in the diet will typically have lower fiber intake. Fiber is very much needed, and it has many functions and benefits for our health and body. Children who lack physical activity. Growing children need daily exercise, not only to get the wiggles out, but also to burn calories, get more oxygen in the blood, and promote healthy blood circulation. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, children and adolescents ages 6 through 17 need to be active for at least 60 minutes every day. Children with family issues such as history of obesity and overweight problems. This includes family history of chronic disease related to obesity. Children that come from families with poor health habits that lack family support. This includes lack of knowledge on nutrition and healthy living in general. By now, you might find yourself or your child in one of these categories. It is important to recognize that you have the power to change the trajectory of your life and provide a healthier future for your child. This is why it is important to get educated on the subject of nutrition and healthy living. And in the courses we provide, we do just that, empowering you with knowledge to take health in your own hands and live life to the fullest. So we understand that we have a serious problem, but where is it coming from? More than 67% of daily calories that American children consume come from ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are those that have many added ingredients such as artificial coloring, added sugars, emulsifiers, and preservatives. Some examples of ultra-processed foods are chips, crackers, many of the packaged salty snacks, French fries, frozen pizza and other frozen meals, many cheeses and processed meats like hot dogs, bologna, etc., cakes, cookies, brownies, donuts and frosting, candy, fast food, soda, many juices and energy drinks, and many other products. Where are these foods found? They are in the school lunches, the movie theaters, shopping malls, sporting events, parties, and social and gathering events, and at home. Instead of trying to rescue children from the risk of childhood obesity through weight loss medications and surgeries, we could invest in educating them about healthy food choices, lifestyle changes, and exercise. The 3 pillars of childhood obesity are: number 1, unhealthy diet and eating habits; number 2, lack of physical activity; number 3, family issues, history of obesity and overweight problems, lack of support, poor health habits, lack of adequate nutrition, lack of resources, or living conditions. There is a time and a place for the special treats or cheat meals, and that is the party time or the birthday time. In those occasions, you can let them have the cake, the pizza, the ice cream. The problem is that we're making it a daily occurrence. Also, it is very important to point out, don't reward your kids with food. Food should not be used as a reward or a punishment, because that type of approach increases the chance of eating disorders, food addictions, and overall unhealthy relationship with food. Our tip for this session: get the tempting foods and junk foods out of the house and replace them with healthy treats and fruit. When the ice cream, the candy, the chips, or the pizza are not readily available, you will be less likely to go out and get them. Schedule your treats. We don't need a dessert at every meal. If your kids have a sweet tooth, there are better options, which we will discuss in the next few segments. In the next few segments, you will learn the importance of healthy eating, the components of a balanced diet, and how to shop for and put together healthy meals and snacks. Mahalo and aloha.